Water reform has been a very successful journey in Australia. The 20 years since the 1994 COAG reform agenda and then the 2004 National Water Initiative that built on those very strong reforms of that first decade have taken Australia to what is a leading position internationally in regard to water reform. It's enabled us to do things that we wouldn't otherwise have done as a nation in relation to building our nation in development, but doing it also sustainably and dealing with the very difficult issues of developing a balance between environment and development.
It presented a integrated and a comprehensive reform agenda. Some of it was very strategic and some of it was quite detailed, but it was a big picture as well as quite prescriptive set of ideas that governments committed themselves to do, and it eliminated a whole lot of unnecessary differences between the states in the way that they were managing their water. It introduced for the first time equal status for irrigation water and for environmental water, which just hadn't been the case before then, and it introduced also unprecedented security for irrigators in using their water for productive purposes and environmental water managers, which just hadn't had the security of supply for their water supplies until then.
In 10 years, the National Water Initiative has really provided a foundation for how Australia thinks about water management. That sounds easy, but in fact that was very hard won. The initiative created a consensus amongst different interest groups who have very different interests in water, about how water should be managed. I think all of us that are associated with the National Water Initiative feel particularly proud of the place that it created for trade between irrigators, but also with the later arrangements about the Basin Plan, also essentially trade between productive use and environmental use. And again, I think that's a fantastic achievement and one that really is envied all around the world. Very few other countries have been able to resolve those problems in this kind of way.